Hey, good morning. Welcome back to Mike's Diabetes World. Yes, another early morning. Current blood sugar is at 6.3, fully calibrated. I have about 0.225 units left. I have pretty well a good night, had a few little corrections. Not as flatlined as before, but still within reason. I'm waking up not extremely high blood sugar. Okay. Time in range is back to 95. Remember yesterday, I dropped time in range because I woke up at 16 plus units of sugar in my blood. Can't speak this morning. Above is still at 5%, and we're going to try to get rid of that by noon. You got to remember, this is just 24 hours. 95% time in range and 0%. I'm going to try to have my time in range for the month, and we'll see how it last 2 weeks anyway. Average sugar is 7.1. This is a big win. After yesterday, we've got a big number. Now, we're going to talk about CGM and all this technology. And there are some people out there who don't believe it and don't like to utilize this. Stay tuned. This channel is provided for informational purposes only. Contact your physician for any diagnostic or treatment plan. Hey, we're back. You know, there are people out there who don't really, just have to get this up, don't really believe in CGM and all this technology in taking care of their diabetes. And that's fine. They can go through their life and do that. For the average person, though, all this information can only help them live a better life with their type 1 diabetes. The only people I would say who should not be on a CGM is youngsters who have just been diagnosed, and I'm talking within weeks. I would say for at least 1 month, they should learn how to give a shot, how to test their blood before being put onto a meter. On the other side, there are people who, can I get an insulin pump right away? I want the insulin pump right away. They're probably the same people who say, well, Ozempic will make me lose weight, so I want it. Those that always think new technology is the bomb. Why do people not trust this as of yet? Well, one of the main reasons is because the information in this little device or through any of your pumps, mine just happens to be Medtronic, but whether you're Omnipod with Dexcom or T-Slim with Dexcom, you have to utilize the information. My blood sugar may not be 6.3. In fact, right now, this is a bad example because my blood sugar is actually 6.3, but it doesn't always have to be right on. This is what we utilize CGM. It tells us the swings and whether we're heading up or heading down. This number may not be exactly what your blood sugar level is at the moment. And this is because, how do I put this? You have to think, I'll use the Medtronic example. This is from the Medtronic website. If you type in why do my CGM and my glucometer don't match, I'm sure, and click on Medtronic, you'll find this reasoning, which could be probably same for any of the Dexcom or Medtronic. And this is that you have two little cars on your train. You have your blood sugar, which is your glucometer sugar, and you have your cellular sugar. When you put in a sensor, it just goes below the skin, and this will tell you what your cellular sugar is. Now, there are two differences. There is cellular sugar and there's actually blood glucose. Cellular sugar is what has reached the cells. Blood sugar is what they take in the lab, and that's the number you see when you do your glucometer test. The two rarely meet up, and don't worry about that. As long as you're within, I think it's 10%. Now, when you go high, your two little trains, when you go up the hill, your blood sugar is going to start raising quickly. And your cellular sugar, which is the second car, kind of just follows along after. So once again, your blood glucose level is a snapshot right away. Continuous glucose monitoring allows you to carry on and take a look and see what your blood sugar is doing. Now, my favorite thing is if you're utilizing this all the time and you've been tested that you're doing your blood sugar correctly and everything's hunky-dory, this number you can say, okay, I'm fine. If I'm 12, 14, well, maybe you need to do a blood test to ensure that number is correct. Because, again, your cellular sugar may have reached the peak and is starting to come down. Your blood glucose would have reached its peak and start to come down. Your cellular sugar still may be showing up here while your blood glucose is dropping. Do a glucose test if you need to. But that's why people say they don't really trust CGM. And I think it's great. I can take a quick look and say, okay, I'm 6.3. I could be a little bit higher, but okay. Now, this helps you to control your blood sugar. But having controlled blood sugar with this works that much better. It's kind of apples and oranges, but they both want the same outcome. Maybe one day we'll be able to do this with cellular sugar. Everything they come up with are tools in order for you to utilize. The pump. People at first did not believe the insulin pumps. Gotta get my pump, sorry. This little device. There were people who didn't believe the Omnipod. Now, there are many people out there who like the Omnipod. I don't dislike it. I like the idea. I prefer the Medtronic pump. It was something I was brought up on in my diabetic life. I was first given a Medtronic pump way back at the beginning of the 2000s. And I've stayed with Medtronic, and I'm comfortable with Medtronic. Now, if something better rolls around, I'll take a look at it. Doesn't mean I'm going to be right on board with everything. And, oh, yes, that's the greatest thing. It's an awful lot of money, and I'm lucky that the province paid for it. There's pros and cons for all pumps. Omnipod has some of its issues. Now you could ask, well, what don't you like about it? I don't like that we have to wear two devices. If Omnipod got on to having its own sensor that talked to it, then maybe we could talk. Do I trust CGMs? I trust the CGM systems. It's told me a lot of things. It's told me I've been dropping. I should guess why I chose Medtronic. I just like the Medtronic system. Doesn't mean you have to like the Medtronic system. You can go with whichever system works the best for you, and your doctor or you would have the best understanding of each. Just have one that works and get all the literature, do all the investigation. The young kids like the Omnipods because they can go off and do what they need to do, and they don't have a tether. For me, I don't mind the tether, and I have everything all at once. I don't have to wear two devices. That's what I like about this. But what we're trying to discuss here is there are people out there who don't like CGMs, period. And to you, I say, give it a try. Work it out. Talk to your doctor. See if CGM can work for you. And there is a learning curve. With all this diabetic technology, there is a learning curve. And some people just don't really want to take that leap of faith. But the benefits are so much better. And with that, have a good day. Bye now. My email is mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com. mikesdiabetesworld@gmail.com.